Peace, greetings everyone. This is Ross Timotheos, High Priest of the Temple of Divine, also author of 5 books, 3 of them pertaining to supreme consciousness and mystical transpersonal experiences. I just wanted to explain a little bit about some things that I've been dwelling on recently. I've been having these experiences in which, I relate myself back to the cosmos and the higher principles, the higher principalities that exist within us by going within and having mystical transpersonal experiences. Well, that's what it's called according to science, modern day science. They call it mystical experience, transpersonal mystical experience. See, it has a lot to do with our brain waves, because we operate at different frequencies in the way our brains operate. These transpersonal experiences are also, another word is trance. So ones who are not familiar with this concept of a trance state of consciousness could actually look this stuff up. There's a plethora amount of information about this subject pertaining to a religious experience, a spiritual experience in which one has with themselves, in a divine, or what is so-called the divine or spiritual, that which exists beyond the normal waking state of consciousness, the normal waking state of one's individual so-called reality, what one would call reality. The waking state, the normal waking state, is altered to a transpersonal perspective. But what I mean by transpersonal is when in psychology you hear the term transpersonal, meaning beyond the subjective normal awareness of observation and experience. So a transpersonal experience is a personal experience or an inner experience, a subjective experience in which one has an altered state of perception, and their perception is altered in a way that allows them to perceive beyond the physical body, and allows them to access certain realms of the cosmos. I would say certain realms of the universe itself. Because we are the universe we are the universe in a linear form. We are the light of the cosmos in a physical form. So when we are able to go within ourselves and gain the knowledge of this light within us, we have to have a spiritual experience. We transform our perception, because with our normal state of perception, our ordinary mode of perception, we are unable to access this light within, because our perception is limited in the normal sense. It's very limited. What we see with our normal perceptive organs, the stimuli on our perceptive organs, is only a reflection of what we experience, because what we experience is just a small particle of the stimuli on our senses. And a lot of what we call our reality is based on memory. It's based on past experiences, as well as experiences which can be recalled. And this happens through the nervous system and the brain, and just the workings of these chemicals which produced in the body, natural chemicals produced in the body. And see, this is the beauty of these transpersonal experiences, is that each and every day we enter in different states of consciousness. As human beings, we are literally hardwired in the brain to have altered experiences, or have experiences beyond our normal waking state. There's also dreaming. So those of you who think that these states of consciousness are not natural, they are brought upon through natural states. And so, when we think of mystical experiences, we think of some guru sitting on on some type of rock meditating, and in a specific you know motif that we have of how this is supposed to be understood. But in fact, we are all always meditating. We are all always experiencing different realms of our existence. And with the Temple of Divine, we seek to understand ourselves through these mystical experiences, through these transpersonal trance states, in which is naturally induced by spiritual, so-called religious, prayer, mantra, actually meditation, and breathing techniques, using other techniques, using candles to access different realms of self, different realms of the universe, which is self. So when I say universe or self, I'm pertaining to the same concept, the same principles, because if you have the understanding that that which is above is below, then you will understand that what is within is without. And so our experiences that we have within ourselves are the same experiences that we would have in the cosmos, or the same phenomenon that goes on within the cosmos in and of itself. So when we understand the true principles of who we truly are, through these mystical experiences, we obtain gnosis, or we obtain the divine knowledge of self. Gnosis means wisdom which goes beyond the linear, ordinary states of consciousness. So it bypasses the intellectual mind. So right now I'm speaking intellectually about an experience, about something that is much more than words, much more than much more than words, because when we get into experience, we're talking about emotional and thought, in unison with the what is being observed and what is being interpreted. So it's a balance between the material consciousness as well as the interaction between that. And so when I speak about transpersonal experiences, I'm speaking about experiences that we can all access within ourselves through basic techniques and basic mode of understanding. We take this basic mode of understanding and we expand it. We are expanding our state of awareness. We are expanding the awareness of ourselves and awareness of the cosmos into a way that we can perceive it without not having a limited mind. But see, the thing is, we are human beings, so we cannot interpret our reality through our ordinary linear state of consciousness. And in science and modern technology, we are told, this is how the way we're supposed to gather information or knowledge, which science means knowledge. So we are told that this is the way that we are supposed to gather knowledge and information about ourselves. And but I truly believe, and actually the whole stem of religion comes from religious experience, transpersonal experiences of the incorporeal or the spiritual aspects of the cosmos, of nature. And so when we understand that religion is a doctrine, and that the true principle of religion comes from one's experiences that they would have with nature, which extend beyond the rational mind, which extend beyond the linear thoughts of the physical material world, extending beyond that, also called metaphysics. But when we start to realize who we truly are, we begin to go beyond our ordinary mundane states of consciousness and access these deeper realms of self, to gain divina sapientia, or the divine wisdom of self, through this science. And so when I say science, I'm speaking about knowledge. This science which our ancestors typically understood and passed on to us as children of the sun, because that's what we are. We are children of the divine aspects of the cosmos. We are children of the aspect of the cosmos, whatever you want to call it, whether you want to call it divine or material in and of itself. We are of the cosmos. We're not of the earth. Of the earth, meaning of the physical body. We are beyond the physical material world in and of itself. We are consciousness or light, which extends beyond this, what you call, body. And so when you look at the cosmos, you're looking at a body of conscious entities. You're looking at a body of life in general. And so we cannot limit life to a physical particle, to a physical expression of existence. And just to say expression of existence, you're talking about the symbol of something that exists beyond the symbol itself. So, and the symbol in and of itself is just a representation of something beyond our comprehension, our rational comprehension, but it does speak to us in a way that we can encompass holistically. So when one has a transpersonal mystical experience, they experience themselves beyond their ordinary mundane perception. And so when we are able to experience ourselves in this mode, in this fashion, through initiating certain techniques, through authorizing certain aspects of ourselves to become present in our lives, we can then move forward with certain principles that'll help us, get to different aspects of the cosmos, travel. I'm talking about a journey here. This is a lifelong journey of gaining the esoteric knowledge of self. That is liberation. That is moksha. That is the ultimate union with the divine mind. You see what I'm saying? Is gaining the true knowledge of the divine mind within ourselves, because within ourselves, the truth be told. So it is by going within and having these mystical experiences, bypassing the rational mind, bypassing the mundane linear perception of the world and of the cosmos, we bypass this and get to experience ourselves in a holistic manner. We are able to go within our subconscious experience and with the rational mind and fully and experience this holistic aspect of the universe, of the self. So when we, and I feel that if we are able to understand our minds and how our minds work within the universe, we are able to understand how we have certain experiences and how we're able. It goes back to psychology. Now, psychology in and of itself is a way that explains how the psyche works, a way how to explain the soul, because the psyche means the soul. But see, we have this issue here. We have the materialistic science, and then we have the metaphysical science, or that which goes beyond the physical. And so a lot of the sciences that we have today are based only upon the materialistic thought that we are just flesh and blood, that there is no spirit, that there is no consciousness, that there is no mind, that there is no incorporeal aspect of self having an experience. We are just typically robots, being programmed through our perception to carry out a embodied action, or an embodied action of the spirit. See, when you begin to understand the spiritual aspect of things through psychology, understanding psychology in the spiritual sense, understanding how one works through that which goes beyond the material plane of existence, the metaphysical aspect of self, then you begin to open the doors of perception. Literally, you begin to open the doors of perception of who you truly are and of the perception of the cosmos, and you then not become limited to this physical material projection, or what we would call projection of the holistic aspect of the cosmos, the conscious aspect of the cosmos. And see, I feel like this a modern day science is a failure, because it incorporate consciousness. But you see, we have these New Age movements in science that do accept consciousness, and see, when one realizes that in the beginning, and the beginning points of humanity, of when we started to become more civilized and have the knowledge that we had, and see, there's another aspect of science anthropology that I don't even want to get into, because those of you who think that we are cavemen or that we came out of monkeys, I'm not even talking to you. I'm not even talking to you on the physical level, nor am I talking to you on a spiritual level. So, but those of you who do understand this principle of consciousness, this principle of life force energy within, that incorporates everything in the physical world, then you can understand me, what I'm trying to say fully, to actually the extent that in which I'm trying to express. But these mystical experiences allow us to go beyond the physical realm and get in and gain the true mystical science of self, the true science, the true knowledge of self. And it's not limited to physical instruments, not limited to physical observation. Actually going beyond the physical observation, and allowing consciousness, allowing emotions, allowing feeling, allowing thought to be a part of existence. And like I'm saying, it's not limited to theory, because a lot of the sciences, a lot of the knowledge that we call science, the authoritative knowledge that we call scientists, only come from people who have money that they can put into certain things. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are truly, that they have the knowledge. But you see, we have to, again, take a look at the way we are perceiving things, the way our minds, the way we can hear things, the way our worldview is shaped is through our perception. So we have to look at the way we see the world, and the way we see the world is through the way we see ourselves, and the way we see ourselves is going to be the way that we see the world. And if we see the world in a certain view that is conflicting with who we truly are, the cosmic aspect of who we truly are, the holistic, universal aspect of who we truly are, the conscious aspect, then we miss this, unified aspect of the cosmos. We miss this. And so when we truly cannot, encompass what we truly are through our limited sense, we need to transform this sense through inducing physical or spiritual, inducing spiritual states of consciousness beyond the physical realm. We can then better understand ourselves through the mystical science, through the natural science of who we truly are, the natural knowledge of who we truly are. And the reason why I'm standing in front of this is because these represent certain principles, certain faculties or certain archetypes that allow us to transform our consciousness into a different mode of perception that allows us to fully interpret and understand and cognate, and then act through the right mind, through the right understanding of who we truly are. And that is through encompassing these mystical experiences and really going on the spiritual journey. The word spirituality means the consciousness that relates man and woman to the higher selves, the consciousness that relates man and woman to the universal aspects of the universal principles of self. These here are universal principles that allow me to relate myself to the higher aspects of who I am. So therefore, I cannot be defined by that. I'm defined by the cosmos, and the only person that has authority to authorize and define that is the mind of the cosmos itself. We are the mind of the cosmos, and it is until we realize who we truly are, is until we realize the mind of the cosmos through Divina Sapientia. Peace.